Well, this is crazy. I've never seen the streets so quiet. I made this film on the 26th of March when I thought I was okay to go out for my daily exercise on my bike. I mean, there's nobody around. But of course, it's changing by the day, the rules, and some people around the country are being fined for being out. But the government tell me I need my exercise. So I'm out on my electric bike with a mask on. I'm certainly more than 2 meters away from anybody. In fact, there's nobody around on the streets. Oh, there's somebody walking. I mean, these streets are normally absolutely clogged full of traffic. The pollution is some of the worst in the country. Cyclists have a lot of freedom. I mean, they ride on the pavement just as I'm about to now. It's all wrong, really. Hardly anything around. It's quite eerie. I mean, this is one of the biggest tourist spots in the country. And look, there's some young people having a picnic. Where's their 2-meter rule? It's funny how some people just aren't aware. I mean, maybe I'll be accused of being irresponsible, but as I say, the government told me that I should go out for my exercise, and I'm keeping it short, and I'm keeping away from others, and I'm wearing a mask. Don't want to frighten this old lady. I better get off onto the road, but a bike as slow as this can actually be a bit of a hazard on the road. You can see why people do drive on pavements occasionally. I'm going down the Walcott Street, the Portobello Road of Bath. There's a pigeon. Don't think it's affected by coronavirus. And there are queues outside Waitress, all very orderly. And I'm now coming around the corner to Pulteney Bridge, the famous Pulteney Bridge. I'm going to jump off my bike and take a look over. There you are, Pulteney Weir. I sailed my catamaran that I made, micro catamaran under the arches to the weir. There's Bath Guildhall Market. My friend Mike is the manager there. It must be very difficult for him, and it will be for some time. They're independent traders. I mean, the beautiful Georgian city of Bath, one is really spoiled to live here. But it's eerily quiet. So I'm now going towards the centre of Bath, with Bath Abbey on my left. I used to do a lot of busking outside the Abbey, and it was always packed, but today it's totally deserted. And to say I made this film on the 26th of March. There's a lone cyclist just going past the pump rooms. Over 1 million visitors a year come to this city. Take a look down there, that's the new part of Bath, the new shopping centre that's sort of mock Georgian. It's a shame they can't do something modern. You know, old and new can really contrast well in an old city. I mean, that's why I settled in Bath, thinking that modern design would coexist, but I couldn't have been further from the truth. Now going down Westcott Street, and I'll be coming round to where I was really looking forward to playing on the Thursday at Vino Vino Wine Bar, which of course has been closed for a while now. I organised all the gigs for the summer, so they're all on back burner now.
Get hit to that timely trip. Don't take that California trip. Get your keys out of 66. Yes.
Such a beautiful city. I mean, you can look down any street and you can see greenery at the end of it. It's in this sort of bowl, which of course means that a lot of pollution is collected in the still air. But today the air is very fresh, very clean. The planet's being given a break. I've lived really too long in Bath. I mean, they used to call it the graveyard of ambition when I moved here. I'm coming along Queen Square and I'm going to go towards the Royal Crescent. But I don't have to go around the square, I can go up the pavement. Shouldn't really ride on the pavement. I feel a bit guilty. You can tell that I don't cycle a lot. And I hope I'll be able to continue going out on my bike for a bit of exercise. It's a great little electric bike. Folding bike. Bit of pedalling now. Take me up the hill, and I'm going up towards the circus. I'm a furniture maker, a woodworker, a designer, and an author of woodworking books. Made Bath my home many years ago. So we're coming up towards the circus. I miss my weekly badminton when I can really get my heart pumping, but coming up this hill I'm actually getting my heart pumping a little. The bike does about 15 miles an hour. My friend Jeff, he lives in the circus, but I haven't seen him for a while. Used to play squash with him. I'm now going down Brock Street, and the gallery on the right used to be called the Circus Gallery, and I sold my rocking chairs there. I sold them all over the world because people coming into the Royal Crescent to photograph it would notice them. Somebody said, "Isn't that chair sold yet?" because we just had the one in the window. I really must take up cycling more often because you can really get all over the place in Bath. It's so accessible. So here's the Royal Crescent. I remember in the summer I was doing a little bit of guitar playing. Okay, what on earth is going on? Is this a fashion parade?
No, it's not.
It's a summer
It's
ball.
a summer
I've
ball.
never seen such beautiful women, and you two in particular. Where are you I used from? to have a friend who lived in a flat here. In fact, a couple of friends over the years. One of them was a friend of, what's his name? The guy who did Brown Eyed Girl, Van Morrison. My friend Danny and I were busking, and Danny was singing Brown Eyed Girl, and Van Morrison walked by without a smile. So I'm very lucky to live on the north side of Bath, although the best views are from the south, of course, you know, with all the crescents. And actually, although the Royal Crescent is the most famous, I think the nicest crescent is Lansdowne Crescent. I mean, when I moved here in the 70s, it was very different. It's full of wealthy Londoners now, and it's quite changed. Oh look, very civilised, orderly queues. You can't say that for some parts of the country. So only the food shops are open. There's my vet. My little dog had his MOT last November. He should have died last year, but he's hanging on, poor little soul. So I'm now riding up quite a steep hill. It's quite a good testimonial for this electric bike because it's not very powerful. It takes about an hour to charge it. But it's pulling me up with a bit of pedalling, which is good because that's my daily exercise. We're now crossing the road towards Camden Crescent. Camden Crescent runs parallel to the London Road, and this is an interesting crescent. It nearly, the end of it while they were building, nearly fell down the hill because a lot of the houses are sliding down the hill in Bath. The Georgian builders really were facade builders. I mean, the stone is very thin and It's a bit like Weetabix, but it's a museum town. But one of my favourite houses is this incredible house on the end of a terrace, and it's got a palm tree outside. Who'd ever expect that in the middle of Bath? But that would be my favourite house because the views are fantastic. The thing is, if you take the tourists out of Bath, it's a bit of a village, is the truth. I wouldn't call it an international city at all. It's quite parochial in a way. I mean, I moved here in the 70s when it was full of hippies. I was sort of borderline hippie myself, and it was full of civil servants and old Bath ladies who drove Morris Thousands. Now we're coming along round the corner to where my old house Belgrave Lodge is. I spent 6 years renovating this. Broke my heart selling it, but I had my own furniture gallery here. Sell my furniture from that. I didn't sell much work locally, but I had a workshop here. This is where I made my rocking chairs. But of course, location, location, location. Problem is, only local trade would pass my shop, and I hate to say it, but locals tend to buy antiques because it's that sort of city. It's an old city, looking backwards rather than forwards. Now, if I stop, the power will recover. It was showing it was about 10%, but actually it's about 80%. So I could probably do about 5 miles on this. But it's so unreal because I've got the roads to myself, and one could be fooled into thinking you've got this tremendous freedom, but it's a really serious situation. And of course, we have to lock down, and for a long period probably. Well, I'm about to go down a steep hill, so maybe I should jump off. Fascinates me how Georgian buildings are painted, these lovely pastel shades, but Victorian buildings aren't painted. Oh well, funny old world.